Hello, everyone. I all hope you had a beautiful weekend and a great day ahead. Today, we'll be talking about the dark druids and their powers and their abilities, their plans, and also their motives. The dark druids' powers are quietly powered by negative feelings and a quietly dark magic. The dark magic requires negative feelings and negative emotions, which extremely cause them to become more powerful and more dangerous and more sinister. Their magic turns dark, so purple that it creates dark balls of dark magic, able to destroy and eviscerate their foes by expanding the energy or compelling the energy at a high level of frequency. The dark magic ball even has the ability to awaken up the dead and resurrect the dead, given the cost of its ancient power and its ancient elemental dark power. It has the ability to also control the dead and even exactly reawaken the dead. In ancient century, when Victor Darkness when Victor Darkness came, known as the savior of the Darkest family, known as a four-inch hunter family, the Darkest family, he used the Dark Druid's magic in order to resurrect the undead for his own evil purposes, in order to raise an army of the dead to wage war against the Dark King, which I previously told you about, the Dark Villain, who was a founder and leader of an ancient society, of an organization of supervillain known as the Founders. He waged war with the Dark King in order to seize control of the sacred villages and to seize control of the other villages. But apparently, their plans were quietly thwarted and they were quietly failed thanks to the intervention of the Phoenician hunters and also the other superheroes alike. The Dark Druid's magic and powers allow them to teleport at the vast distance and even at the near distance. In doing so, exactly, they have the ability to teleport far and also close proximity. This allows them to exactly plan their attacks and also calculate their attacks in a very nearby when an enemy is quietly coming and close by to attack them, or when they quietly attack them in far distance. Thus, in do so, giving them they have the ability to surprise the enemy, but with their teleportation powers and with their very quietly super speed. They even have the power of super hearing and the ability to exactly see things that are quietly there within the person's body, seeing the energy within a person's body. Given that they've been fighting the light hunters for over a century, the dark druids and the dark witches and dark faithful use their powers in order to exactly create dark machines and dark amplifying machines that amplify their dark magic. Use it for a high level of witchcraft, which can easily destroy planets and destroy worlds across the known universe and across the sacred universe, and also to seize control of the sacred universe and of the sacred world. Given at this moment of time, according to Grayston Ferris Unity, who is a new universalman, he said that the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the Dark Faithful are the most powerful beings that he and his team of heroes have ever encountered, and they are the most deadly foes and the most deadly adversaries who's been serving the Lord of Magic for the past 2 centuries and for the past 2 millennia. They're given not the fact not to be underestimated and not to exactly to be tolerated by their powers and by their super speed and by their energy. They are very quietly deadly and they are very quietly powerful. Given the fact that they have the ability to study everything with their dark magic, create lightning energy, and create dark lightning energy, and create purple lightning energy, manipulating crystals and shadow energy with their power and with their energy in order to strengthen the Shadow Empire and also the Lolo Magic's immortality rate, given the fact that they do possess the power to amplify the Dark Crystals thanks to the masters known as Jackbringer, Minerva the Dark Witch, the sister Dark Witch of Darkron, and the Dark Witches, and Nebula Bringer, and also an anonymous Dark Witch, and also the Sun Witches, and all the other Dark Witches who are the masters and high priestess. They are the most powerful of all. They learn all the magical translation throughout the dark book of spells and throughout its entire translation of translating all the magical powers and all its secrets and its contacts to harvesting the dark druid scripts and all the labels of all the energy. This fact exactly proves that the dark druids and the dark witches and the dark faithful are strong and formidable, and they are not to be underestimated. Within the early years, ever since the Lolo Magic's power, death, the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and Dark Faithful convene came convening for a meeting to discuss the outbreak of the death of the normal magic and what the universal heroes have done, seeing that the Shadow Empire has fallen apart. They discussed that it's time to land a lethal attack at the intergalactic coalition, which they exactly did. The intergalactic coalition fought back harder and fought twice as harder within the 2 years, and within the 3 years, and within the 4 years. They fought and fought. Both sides quietly suffer heavy losses. Within every duration, the spaceships and motherships fell from the sky. Monsters and creatures were at war with each other. Shadow Empire warlords were seizing control of each faction, trying to seize the throne and suppress the throne for their own use and for their own agenda. This exactly created an all-out war, and the sacred conflict became sacred, so powerful that no one had to exactly know about it. After the outcome of the war and after the outcome of the battle, the Dark Druids in a Dark Witches exactly convened for a meeting with Nebula Bringer. Nebula Bringer gave them the order that it's time to finally hit the attack on the Universal Heroes and all of them by heading straight to a close planet that is close to Earth, which is a sector of Formation Hunters and a place where the villagers live, an attack which is quietly imminent. The Dark Druids exactly complied, and it decided it's time to send the Shadow Empire warlords and give them the tip off that they need exactly to destroy the heroes. Blacksport retrieved the information from Shadow Boy, who became a new member of his organization, known as a Court of Nature, who's exactly trying to seize control of the cities, worlds, and planets, and inform them of the outcome of the mission and how exactly managed to take a turn that the Formation Hunter village isn't destroyed or quietly decimated. The Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and Dark Faithful were quietly distraught over the loss that they exactly failed their mission. The success of the mission was quietly a failure, and it wasn't quietly complete, given the fact that the Universal Heroes have succeeded in thwarting their plans and in thwarting or foiling their plans at the attempt in order to exactly destroy them and to destroy the other villagers. Nebula Bringer assured them that this failure was not to be exactly taken lightly. Take it in a likely as a lesson to be learned that we cannot underestimate our enemy, given the fact that they exactly are powerful and are very quietly too deadly, especially newborn, werewolf boy, werewolf boy, and werewolf boy, wolf bat, and universal man and universal boy and universal warrior, and all the other heroes, which are quietly not to exactly underestimating their abilities. The Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and Faithful convene for a meeting again to discuss the outcome of the battle and also to discuss the situation of the battle when Jakebringer came to them and reassured them that the council has the situation under control and that they'll take it from there, that they should lay low for the meantime and start attacking the intergalactic coalition with a full scale attack on them. The Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and Dark Faithful proceeded in attacking the intergalactic coalition, which exactly took months and months and months and months of attacking. The attack took months and months. As it took months and months, the intergalactic coalition was waging war with the Dark Druids and with the Dark Faithful, with the Dark Witches, for months after month, year after year, and year after year. Given the fact that they exactly succeeded, the mission was quite a catastrophic success, but it came to a downstill when the other light hunters came to assist and forcing the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches to exactly retreat. Within the retreat, they informed Jackbringer that the intergalactic coalition is heavily armed and heavily backed up with backup and more security, that they're going to need an army of assassins and an army of soldiers. Jackbringer reassured them that that won't be necessary because they already have an army of their own in order to attack the intergalactic coalition in order to make a full-scale attack on them. The Shadow Empire warlords agreed to the meeting in order to share their concerns over the intergalactic coalition and over the universal heroes and the world heroes, and that they exactly on a winning cost free to exactly regain control of the other worlds and all the other planets. Jackbringer reassured them that Shadow Jack will exactly rectify the mess of this entire screw up, or rather the Harvikan Core will exactly resolve the mess by giving them intergalactic dominance of all the planets, which exactly will render half of the universe to them and half of the sacred universe to them. The doctors exactly agreed with this deal and with this proposal that the Harvikan Core should get a half of the known universe and half of the sector of the sacred known universe and half of the other sacred universe to belong to them, which came to agreement. But the universal heroes quietly thwarted the information and quietly threw their plans into disarray when the intergalactic coalition has liberated all the other worlds and all the other five systems and all the other five-star systems from the Shadow Empire's control, and also touches from the Shadow Empire warlords, which exactly turned out to be a very good thing. But the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and Dark Faithful decided to time to take matters into their own hands when Jackbringer ordered them not to exactly intervene, but they exactly refused to listen. Nevertheless, reassured them the plan is in place, that they shouldn't exactly intervene at any given cost. The Dark Druids use a ball of dark magic to begin a sinister ritual to decimate all the other worlds and all the other planets. Magic Girl found out with Magic Man by the detection of dark magic in a far distant and worked with the magic hero fairies to create a convergence of magic enough to exactly decimate enough to exactly decimate the Dark Druid's dark magic and its power and its capacity. By doing so, the Dark Druid's magic and power was quietly decimated, and all of its dark ritual was quietly prevented. That's thus saving lives and worlds and planets before they were quietly totally annihilated and quietly destroyed. The Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and Dark Faithful exactly decided to fight the battle head on against Magic Girl. They fought. Some of the forces were decimated, some of the Dark Druids were killed, turned to nothing else but into power source of energy, and they were quietly eviscerated. The others were quietly eviscerated with the other Dark Witches, and the half of the other Dark Faithful were quietly decimated, thanks to Magic Girl and the Light Hunters and the Magic Cure Fairies with their magic in order to exactly wipe them out and exactly remove them out of the way. With half of the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the Dark Faithful being exterminated, their plans were quietly thrown into disarray. The other Dark Druids and Dark Faithful and Dark Witches retreated and informed the Council of Nature that Magic Girl, that Universal Magic Girl, and the Universal Magic Heroes are well aware of their plans and that they should be stopped with effect immediately, given the fact that they will still pose a threat to their sinister plans and to their future endeavors. The Court of Nature reassured the Dark Druids that the plan is in place and that they'll be dealing with the heroes head on and that they'll never take them lightly ever again. The Dark Druids quietly began a very sinister last ritual in order to wipe out the Intergalactic Coalition stronghold and in order to wipe them out. By doing so exactly, the Intergalactic Coalition was nearly wiped out, but thanks to the interference and the intervention of Havoc Man and also Light Boy and also Power Boy's genetic clone managed to exactly protect the Intergalactic Coalition stronghold before it was even destroyed or was even quietly gravely annihilated, saving all the other civilizations and all the other worlds. The Dark Druids quietly decided it's best to join the attack and retreat. They reported back to the Order of the Five and Jackbringer and told them that this news is quietly not good, that they should exactly do something about the matter. The Noten Knight, known as a supervillain, stepped in front of the dark room, stepped into the light of the dark room, which is a sacred base, which is from a dead planet. They speak in sacred bases, which are sacred worlds, which are able to exactly hide the location and they say central command for them to speak and discuss their plans on conference meeting and on monitors. The Noten Knight of the supervillain stepped forward and told them that we'll be dealing with the Universal Heroes and Intergalactic Coalition and that the situation is ours to take control. We've done enough trouble by exactly bringing this to our table. Let the Court of Nature and Black Sport and also Shadow Boy deal with the loss of the Universal Heroes and the other sinister forces, which the Court of Nature which the Order of the Five Council quietly agreed, and the Dark Druids were happy to oblige to allow the Court of Nature to take its plans to a higher meaning, knowing full well that they could exactly be stopped or be thrown to disarray with a snap of a finger and with the interference of Universal Man and the other Universal Heroes. Given the fact of this, the Dark Druids are very quietly intelligent beings and are very quietly powerful beings, and working alongside the Dark Witches and the Dark Faithful, they're very quietly enhanced with dark magic. They have no combat skills but they're very quietly very skilled with dark magic, able to create dark balls of dark magic, and it's releasing its dark negative energy and negative power, able to eviscerate and destroy enemies and waking up the dead, creating armies for the Court of Nature, the Order of the Five, the Order of the Six, the Order of the Seven, the Dark Order, all these other sinister societies, organizations of villainous organizations of villains, which are run by powerful criminals who are eager to take control of the world and of the sacred world and of the sacred universe. Some are willing to decide the fate, and the others are willing to do whatever they can. They even form an alliance with Shadow Jack, which is the most powerful villain, giving him all the information he needed in order to prepare his plan to save his empire from certain destruction and from certain death. And they exactly gave him all the coordinated attacks of the Intergalactic Coalition and all the other sinister forces that are willing to exactly plan ahead on an attack against Shadow Jack's empire and his forces. They even informed the Shadow Empire warlords about the sinister attacks that the Intergalactic even are planning to do and how they're winning are planning to do, after Nebula Bringer told them that everything else is in place and that they don't need to exactly worry. The Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and Dark Faithful are very powerful and are immortal beings. They have existed for centuries, serving the Lolo magic for centuries. Since his death, they've been served with different masters, with different leaders, with different super criminals, forming alliance with other super criminals to utilize their resources for their own ultimate goals and for their own ambition and for their own pursuit to reconquer the sacred worlds and the sacred planets of the sacred universe and all the other civilizations that the Intergalactic exactly has managed to retake back and reclaim back. Given the fact that the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and Dark Faithful are not willing to give up that easily, not without a fight, knowing full well that this is a war and that this war has become an out of control war since the power vacuum has already created another power vacuum of the Universal Throne. That the Universal Prince has become the most powerful criminal and the most deadly supervillain who wants the Universal Throne to exactly plunge more chaos into the mortal world and into the entire sacred universe and into the entire sacred world, willing to exactly work with all the criminals and all other supervillains alike. The doctors have quietly even provided him information with his society, gave him everything he needed with the other Dark Faithful and with the other Dark Witches, provided all the intel and all the intelligence on what the Universal Heroes are planning and what the Four Nation Hunter, the Alliance, the Intergalactic Coalition is willing to do next. They are very intelligent, very clever, very quite good quick thinkers, and are very sharp and are very persistent and are very resilient. They will not miss a chance to retaliate or to attack, given the fact that they know exactly what they have to do on their mission. Without the master of the Lolo magic to keep them in line and to keep them in control, they have no choice but to reform themselves as their own masters and to exactly be led by other powerful criminals and other supervillains alike, and to be guided by them, and also forming alliance with other super criminals and other supervillains for their ultimate goals, ambition, mission, and also conquest and world domination and universal domination and sacred domination at any given cost. The galactic balance of dominance and power has shifted in a way that even the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the Dark Faithful have even sensed it in a higher attitude. They're willing to do whatever it takes to resume power and to gain power and to be on power, no matter the cost or the risk. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a beautiful day. Goodbye.